All right, we're right into the thick of things here. Map number 1 between Nouns and Wildcard. And, well, we saw the map pick come through for Nouns. We know Wildcard like to play here as well, but I guess Nouns wanted to go with their strength as we head into things here.
I am very excited to see how those two teams will play it out. As you guys mentioned, you know, a battle of the ages here for both Wildcard and Nouns. Although, Wildcard, they do get themselves into a first position here in B main, and there's a lot of players right around the corner. Sonic not yet going for the peak. A Junior will take initiative, and he's going to find this first kill. JBA, though, gonna be the second one. Takes a quick peek, but has to go back, and they could be overwhelmed onto the side here.
Yeah, possibly. Stanislaus going to help with JBA down the ramp. JBA gets the headshot onto Junior. 4v4. Carson spotted out, and Carson gone to. Modem is going to find that, although the bomb plant, speaking of finding things, that's what Noun's going to get. George, a response here onto Slight. 3v3. Chaotic action as the CTs try to get that site back. Stan gets one. His teammates traded up, but Modem is also going to get traded out, in fact. 1v1. Stan versus George. George hits the shot and finds the round. Nouns win the opener.
Well, I do have a curiosity here for you, John, because you know those guys better than I do. We all know that, you know, Eminem dropped a new song. Did Stanislaus take it too hard for him to stand up? If he's the real Slim Shady, or what happened with their hair color there?
Yeah, I don't know, actually. You know, he changed the hair color, and I believe also looking a little more swole, honestly, in his picture. So he's working out, changing the hair color, wants a different style, I suppose. Honestly, that's the only thing I can think of. But yeah,
it, you know,
maybe if we get him an interview, that's a really good question, honestly.
Yeah, you know, working out, that's always good for you, for your health and all that. So good for him. As
definitely.
He only has an USP, although I don't think the muscles will help if you only have an USP against, you know, the big guns. But
yeah,
they do have 4 players inside Cave, and Modem is actually ready with a flash, so this can turn a little ugly for Nouns. Not that they could lose a lot of players, but an AK and a Galil retrieved, that can get dangerous as George takes a peek. He's going to find the first kill. The flash is a little late because Carson was already ready for the duels there. George to finish things off, eliminating Sonic. And there we go. Nouns securing the anti-eco with a triple kill from George and a double from Carson to secure it 2-0.
Yeah, pretty bog standard anti-eco coming through there from Nouns. You know, taking that mid control like I talked about. I think they're going to be pretty aggressive in that regard. Trying to challenge Wildcard significantly, especially on their T side. I shouldn't say that, actually. Probably on both sides, right? They're going to try and win that mid fight. It's like Mirage, right? When you look at Ancient, if you want to compare it to any other map, it's just that mid control is so important in gaining you access to both bomb sites. As Nouns and Wildcard going to go at it here with rifles on both sides. Pretty good vibe for Nouns, considering this is technically their bonus round with 2 Galils. And Slight gets the opener over on Carson. That'll make it a 5v4 in favor of Wildcard. And one thing that impressed me for Wildcard in particular on this map here of Ancient is they look better than M80 on the map. Still lost it. They look better in terms of strategies against the team that we, like we were saying, we consider to be at the top. So still, Wildcard might have something interesting to show us here.
Sonic forced out of position. He's going to keep on fighting, but George takes him down. And JBA is able to cover the site. Slide is very close by, but swinging through the smoke will not be a good idea. Now, the thing is, Nouns, they got control over the A site. Sure, that's good, but the bomb is all the way back towards B, and they might actually change up their play. I guess they were going for maybe a fake towards A and then go back to B, but as there's no reaction at a Wildcard so far, they can just take the bomb all the way towards the A site. JBA will eliminate CJ, though, and it seems like Nouns, they will keep on going with the same plan as almost very slowly, but it's making its way towards that site.
Yeah, I think this forward position from George really gives them a lot of space to work with here. Rush probably going to try and pinch in, maybe? No, he actually deviates himself back towards mid. He's going to hang around Jaguar. Stanislaus could walk into him. Not sure who's going to win that fight, but in the meantime, they still have to get this bomb planted, and Slight's trying to make life difficult for them. So is JBA. They've got good angles, and Stan actually does win that fight against Rush on the other side of the map. They're going to try and stick this plant It's not going to be easy for them to defend against, and yeah, George goes down. Last one standing is Junior, 1v4. Bullets are flying around right next to his face. Manages to get nothing, in fact. MOTM, the frag, and Wildcard win their first buy round.
It just feels to me that Nouns, they had a pretty big opportunity just to, you know, get everyone onto the same side and play that together, but it took very long, right? Because they had the site there for a really long time, and yet still they were shifting around. Of course, missing a lot of information, and they were probably scared of some mid presence, maybe someone getting a little too aggressive in that position. So Nouns dropping the first buy round there. They are still able to get another buy, and that's no problem for them. But now Wildcard, they will have a better buy. They will have a lot of more util, and they don't necessarily send a lot of players towards mid. It's Sonic by himself for now, and he could be overwhelmed by Carson. But some bullets through the wall or some back. Modem, nothing he can do, and gets the peek from Rush with a help from Junior. Slide with the molly to delay them. That's gonna stop them for a little longer.
And now let's have some space towards this B site. That's going to help a lot with Carson getting the headshot onto Sonic. And then Junior, oh, a TK on Rush after Rush gets a critical one. And then the nade almost finishes off CJ. That could push Nouns completely off the B site. Carson dropped by Stanislaw. That got so chaotic. Junior's looking to swing around and get back into cave, and Wildcard think they've rotated to A. Nouns have bamboozled them and will secure at least a bomb plant here. A little bit of util will likely give them away, but I mean, they've got so much time to burn off the clock here after the bomb is planted, which it will be. 2v2 post plant. Nice one from Nouns.
The thing is, they are very low HP, but Stanislaw...
Oh, that reload.
Yeah, that's not a good spot to reload there. And CJ, 6 HP, that is plenty for a double kill here. So Nouns able to secure the round, even though it looked a little choppy there, but
As Pop said, just some issues trying to make sure that we've got the transmission going out to you guys smoothly. And hopefully we'll be good to go after everything is restarted and underway once more.
yeah, it should be soon enough. I know I understood we had some issues, but production is working to get that smoothed out for you, so we can see this wonderful best of 3. One for the ages, one of the best of 3s of all time. As you know. Oh, it did transform into not our fault now, so yeah, we're just waiting for someone to come back so we can get the game back underway. Also, I'm really excited to see Rush back into the heat of things, right? Because he, as you guys mentioned, a very experienced player, of course, one-time major winner as well. And I mean, he was playing for Party Astronauts for a little bit there, and basically that's when he came back. But now within Nouns, I think he's a very good fit for the team.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, I kind of felt bad for the Party Astronauts when they lost him. They managed to pick up the pieces pretty decently on the Party Astronauts side, with Infinite being added to the roster and Fang as well. So it's actually not too shabby for them, but I still think that veteran presence that Rush added made them feel like a more complete team, and now they're still trying to pick up the pieces. Anyway, we are back in action, and I do feel like Rush has made a difference. Pretty much every team he's joined up with, well, I mean, it's only 2 teams, but still, even back when he was part of that EG roster, it still felt like he was giving a lot, even though his performance had dropped a little bit. Now his performance has picked up and it's looking quite good, and he still has that veteran presence. As it looks like Nouns want to go into this A site. CJ gets the opener. The follow-up, JBA finding one with the Deagle, but immediately traded by Junior. So this should be an easy take of the A site.
Yeah, it's down to Bottom here with an USP, trying to deal some damage. But you don't want to get yourself into the molly there, and Rush will help out with that. He's going to get the kill, and there we go. Nouns easy does it. They do lose a player, so CJ has to reinvest. Their economy is not going to be looking that much better, right, as if it were a flawless round. But now, the interesting thing is, Wildcard, they get another buy. They do have an op for Slight, and Stanislaw, he has the Gator. He has the XM. I want to flex that I found out that it's called, people call it the Gator, so I'm going to use that from now on.
I didn't know people called that. Where did you hear that?
I think it, wasn't it Fi? I think Fi called it the Gator, and T-Time was confused earlier in the EU series.
Maybe it's just fine. I don't know. I haven't heard that myself, but either way, that's a good opener for MOTM, looking around the corner of that smoke, and he finds the follow-up to MOTM popping off and finally is traded out. But the thing is, he was actually isolated on that B site. The other 2 players had pushed out in towards Jaguar. Now they're trying to rotate back into Cave, which now doesn't really have that much util to deal with. So it'll be tough for them. Carson trying to push forward here towards Long B. Slight and JBA around the corner. Junior finally tossed that Molotov in, so that'll hold off Wildcard for enough time to get the bomb planted should they choose to do it. And there you go. Junior planting in the only spot that's currently considered safe. Here comes Stanislaw with the XM. Swinging around. Could do so much damage with it, and absolutely will. There's one. Carson finds a trade. Carson looking for a flick to find another one, but he won't. Ooh. And it's down to George, only 27 HP. This is going to be a nigh impossible task for him. He finds one, and only one. Sonic trades it out, and it will be Wildcard taking it out.
The fact that Slight actually gets that kill through the smoke is perfect for the side of Wildcard, because Carson was in a very good position, and that smoke would have taken so long to fade away that Slight would have been isolated from his teammates. Like, in exactly this situation, right? He could have been able to get a little closer, hide a little bit more, but a very nice shot here, a Slight landing it. So with that Wildcard, they answer back, not allowing Nouns to string even more rounds together, which is perfect, considering Nouns did have a pretty good start. Now, for Ancient, I did see recently a lot of teams do better on that T side, and that's actually the case for both of those teams, percentage-wise, but they seem to be pretty good at CP side as well, so that's exactly why we're basically expecting a 2-1, or even if it goes as a 2-0 for whichever team, I think it's just going to be a very, very close best of 3, right? Because, as you guys mentioned, last time those 2 teams played, 13-11 and a couple of overtimes in the next 2 maps. So, clearly, they're evenly matched, for sure.
Yep. No, I agree. It just sometimes, I would say, Nouns can really start to bulldoze. Like, they just get their rhythm and their momentum, and the other team can't stop them. I think that's the only possibility here, where it might turn into more of a one-sided affair on any of the maps, honestly. But I overall agree with you. They're very evenly matched. Even with Modem subbing in for Grizz today, I still feel like, it's going to be very difficult for either team to really gain an edge. Junior will find the opener onto Slight, so he wins the op-v-op duel. 5v4 mid control gained. Mentioned how they love to fight for this, and they're going to pretty much uncontested gain it now. JBA trying to help here, but he won't be able to. George gets the 2-man advantage now in the favor of Nouns.
Stanislaw. He's going to swing onto Carson, and there we go. The XM finding the headshot, but the problem is he's all alone in the meantime. Modem won't take down George. That was the flanker. Junior with a kill on the Stanislaw, and can Modem deny this. No util to stop this spawn plan, so that's gone. Although he needs to be careful of the angle that Junior is holding with the op, a very deep angle and a very tight angle as well. Although Sonic coming in through the flank here. He's not going to find anyone inside the cave, but they're going to have to synchronize here on this push. Junior, well, he's just going to take that away as he gets the kill onto Modem, and Sonic able to eliminate CJ. But apart from that, that should be it. Nouns is very important for them to keep as many players alive as they can, so, you know, a little bit of economy can be formed. But as the round is going to be over, it's going to be Nouns securing 5, and Sonic able to save that AK is not bad. He should be able to drop a weapon even if they want to eco, so they could still stand a pretty good chance. But Nouns, the openers were just so very good that Wildcard didn't really get a chance to answer back, it feels like.
Yeah, Junior doing a great job so far, which is excellent news for Nouns. He was a lot quieter on the first 2 maps against Wildcard last time. It was really that, I think it was the 3rd map that he popped off. Yeah, he had 32 frags on Nuke and 89.4 ADR, so top rated player at 1.47, but still lost that map. So good to see Junior, at least if you're a Nouns fan, activate a little bit earlier. Now, Nouns are really trying to put their hurt on. They win this round, and Wildcard will be on an eco. Carson, the opener, and George, the follow-up. Again, all of that happening as a crunch towards mid occurs. Rush gets the follow-up onto Stanislaw. We have a 5v2 just like that. The nade could be damaging. It is, but Nouns are still okay. All 5 players standing. I mean, realizing that there's a player on the B site, you'd imagine that they might want to rotate over and head to A, but oftentimes Nouns don't shy away, and they immediately try to go after the jugular and don't hesitate to even walk into a site where they know presence is on. They will readjust themselves here, though. I think that's the right decision. They leave one behind, lurking around. That is CJ.
Really like the fact that his whole nickname is CJ the King.
Yeah. Well, sometimes he lives up to it, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'd be excited to see that. So far, not doing too bad, don't get me wrong, but for sure not at the top of the scoreboard. That's, of course, reserved for George, as he's 10-4. And we've only gone through 8 rounds of Ancient. Modem and Slight, they're pretty close to each other, and Nouns, I don't think it's going to be the best idea to hunt here, but in the end, they are very close as well. And as long as they don't lose too many players, it should be okay. As Rush gets taken down, Nouns actually abandoned the idea to hunt. So I don't know if it was, in all fairness, a very good idea. Slight will be taken down though. That was only an MP9. It's not the end of the world that they'd lose that. But of course, it's not good because it was one of the 2 weapons that they could have carried over into this round. Into this one, it's probably just going to be pistols with Modem onto that M4A4. And they're going to hope for a lot out of him. Attack pause called in by Wildcard as well, because it does seem like Nouns, they keep getting away with quite a lot, and for Wildcard, that is not a good sign.
Yeah, that's the one risk. When you're playing against Nouns, going for early fights can go 2 ways, right? If you lose the first one and then the follow-up comes through, you're in a huge amount of trouble because Nouns are very momentum-based oftentimes and will just pile on over on top of you and destroy you. But if you win the opening engagements, that could be critical as well because Nouns kind of rely on that a lot of the times to get those openings in the rounds. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how this one plays out. 6-2 for Nouns. Good idea for Wildcard to call the pause and calm things down. Maybe play a little more passively. Don't give Nouns those fights.
Well, Nouns setting up for a fairly fast A play, which wouldn't necessarily be too bad of an idea. There are still players waiting for them there, but both of them are Deagles, and if they're able to power through, they should be pretty safe. Slight rotating in with the dualies. Main thing is the M4 is not here, so of course it's going to be a little easier to take over. Maybe if the Deagles are not hitting the headshot, Sonic doesn't get anything, but GBA gets 2. Junior with the trade. But there's still a player close by. George with a flank through Red Room. That is perfect. He's going to try to cut off even more. Modem he actually goes down to 20 HP. He was pretty lively there, but losing a lot of his HP to the molly. That's not going to be a good sign. Of course, he's going straight away towards the B side, maybe even deeper to save the weapon once again. Junior finds Stanislaw, and now do they want to hunt for the last weapon? It wouldn't be bad. Then again, even if they do just save over the weapons and they don't go for the hunt itself, it's not that bad either. But they might be surprised to find Modem all the way in T-spawn.
No, when Nouns smell blood in the water, they immediately will try to strike. And right here, I feel like they know they've got the chance to really run away with this first half. So they're hunting down a little bit, but I guess you're right, Pop. They don't really want to go too far. They almost got into that T-spawn area and then just held back a little bit. Maybe Rush in there is saying, guys, no need to hunt. We do need the money too. And we need to make sure these rifles stay up. But JBA, I mean, almost by himself, setting that up for Wildcard as a potential round that they could have taken. But he falls and misses that third shot. If he hits the third one, it would have been nutty for a 3K Deagle shot from that position. But it doesn't happen for him. And that's honestly, like I was saying in the pregame, what Nouns have to do if they want to find success against Wildcard is find a way to shut JBA down. And so far, aside from those two frags, he honestly has been pretty quiet.
Yeah, no, I am still expecting quite a lot out of him. Maybe it's just a slow start for him, or maybe Ancient is not his favorite map.
Yeah.
Oh, the util and should be able to get away safely, but he's still down towards half HP. Slight dodges the flash. Could be forced into a duel soon enough, as there's two players out in mid from Nouns. Although Slight, as you know, Sonic got the information that they're both fighting against him, could have taken a quick peek down into mid. Of course, with the off, you can get punished quite a lot because of that. Sonic with a kill on the CJ, but there's George with a trade, and Slight, nice flick, eliminating George, eliminating a top fragger for Nouns. It's not going to be enough as they have the player advantage, but they are about to lose the B site.
And now it's charging in here, 38 seconds, but what a spray down through the smoke by Modem, just holding the angle with the spray and leaves Nouns kind of on notice, right? 30 seconds left, they're trying to stick the plant. Now Modem can charge through this and really make life hell for them, but Carson's watching that smoke. Junior manages to get the plant, so it's still on in a 2v4. The problem is the op, but I say it's the problem. No, Junior hits an important one, but now he's the last one standing. Excuse me, Carson is, as Junior got traded out. Carson hits one. Can you get the second? No. It will be Stanislaw finding the trade, and Wildcard will indeed find the third. The reason I was going to say the opposite bit of a problem is exactly what happened, right? You get one on an opener, but then the immediate trade comes through, which it didn't feel like it was as quick as it needed to be for Wildcard, but it still did happen at the end. And then you have Carson by his lonesome. But nice shot from Junior, at the very least, to give his team a chance in that round.
Yeah, that flash coming in from Slight, just, I think it saved the day for Wildcard. Because Junior found that first pick, and he was still going towards a very aggressive position. He was still peeking towards long. So if the flash doesn't come through, I think Junior gets the kill and makes it a 2-on-2, and then it becomes very unfortunate and very scary for the side of Wildcard. Able to take him down, and then again, you know, it was still a good round in the bag for them as we get ourselves pretty close to the end of the first half. And Nouns, of course, they secured the lead at halftime point, but that doesn't mean that Wildcard gonna get some more rounds on the board here on the CT side of Ancient. I think with two players inside a cave, and Slight will be left to fend for himself. I like his reposition, but now he's been found, so they know he's not in donut. They could attack that position, try and overwhelm Sonic, or try and get themselves to the Red Room, even though they are being held there by JBA. It did seem like Red Room was a very important piece of the puzzle for Nouns, and usually when they get at least, you know, Junior or George there, or rather George, not necessarily Junior with the op, it works out in their favor.
Looks like they're wary of it, maybe realizing that's where JBA likes to play around. So they're deviating themselves from mid into donut, and in fact, 3 players heading to the B site. Rush will be at ramp, and maybe maybe they're going to have a two-pronged attack here with that one player up ramp and two heading in towards Jaguar. Sonic gets the opener on Carson, so now a 5v4, although Nouns are going the other direction, so this could quickly tilt in favor of Nouns if they can find one onto Slight quickly, and they won't! Modem supporting him, they get aggressive, win the fights. Nouns down to only CJ and Junior. CJ managed to secure one, but it's still a two-man edge in favor of Wildcard. Very similar circumstances to that previous round. Junior swinging around, hits the shot on Slight, brings down to only a one-man edge, but Sonic and JB are right there for the immediate trades and the round victory. A fourth picked up for Wildcard.
There we go, and not enough money for Nouns for a good play, so or a good buy rather. So we might actually be going towards a 75. I was looking over at that previous result when they played against each other, and in that first Ancient they played, it was actually a 75 favoring Wildcard on the CT side, with Nouns picking up 8 on in the second half to make it to a 13-11. So now that Nouns are going to be able to get at least a 2-round lead, even a 3-round lead if the Tech 9s do prevail. It might get, you know, a lot more comfortable for Wildcard. Rush with the Tech 9 will try to overwhelm Modem, but they line up for him. It is a double, and the third is taken away by Stanislaw. So it goes downhill here for Nouns. Modem finding a third, and Slight finishing it off. A flawless round to end the first half, and that is a statement of a round here for Wildcard as they will switch to the T side.
Yeah, almost felt like a hard read coming there from Wildcard. They had the perfect setup to deny a ramp push, and as soon as it happens, Modem's there. He finds a couple of frags. Stanislaw tosses the nade in after Modem does some damage and finds himself a third, and just that setup was not going to be denied on Wildcard. So they make it actually pretty close heading into the second half, 3 rounds in a row. But like you mentioned, it's a good point. You know, Wildcard had a significant lead going into the second half. Last time, Nouns picked into Ancient. This time, Nouns are going to have a 2-round buffer, so that could be a difference maker. I think one other big difference is that JBA hasn't necessarily been able to really find his rhythm here in this series, but Modem has kind of picked up that mantle. He's leading the charge with 12 frags and tied with George at the top of the server in that category. All right, we go into the second half pistol here. Nouns a very heavy lead into A, and that's not where Wildcard are going. They don't get the right read, and now they're on for the retake. Do they have a kit? They do. So there's time afforded to them. Junior trying to tap some heads here on players that might venture out towards long B, and actually keeping them hemmed into the site could play into the favor of Nouns here as they're moving forward. George going to get one traded out immediately by Modem.
Carson shooting away. Junior gets one onto Modem. Slight able to eliminate Rush, but there's 3 players just waiting for him to swing. Junior with a good headshot, and it's all down to Stanislaw. Glock in hand. Oh, almost a second. No, he's gonna run out of bullets, and the defuse was going on at the same time. So Stanislaw, good try, but Nouns actually secure the retake. What I also wanted to point out is that I think if Nouns would have gotten a better first half, right, an 8-4, a 9-3, I think it would have been a different map from what we saw last time out of them. But considering it's just a 7-5, I think it's just a lot of situations that went better for Nouns on their T side in this map. I don't think it's of course such a big difference after such a short time, right? They played basically a week ago against each other, and that's when it got very, very close. I wouldn't be surprised if Wildcard finds some success here and they are able to answer back so that it doesn't end as a 13-5.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you, and I feel like it will just be down to those swing rounds and who wins them. You're right. Like there hasn't been enough time for the teams to adjust and adapt to what's been thrown at them in that previous BO3, so they're just going at it toe-to-toe once more. And if Nouns are able to kind of secure the important rounds here, especially on the tail end where Wildcard tend to struggle, then maybe they'll be able to pull this one off cleanly, but you wouldn't count Wildcard out yet at all. We'll see what they can do coming into this 4 spot. As they got the bomb plant, 2 Galeals, the Scout, the Tech 9, and the Deagle will be in their hands. That last engagement on the pistol round looking a little labored for both sides. Stan, you saw him kind of shrugging it off, or trying to anyway, after he couldn't connect the shots with the Glock. And sometimes that's the frustrations you have with that default pistol on T side. Doesn't do much damage unless you're hit in the head. CJ gonna swing around here, firing a few shots off into the smoke, and he keeps Wildcard away from mid. That's actually quite important, as you have Junior waiting here on the other side. He has been an important player for them so far here on Ancient. Oh my goodness, he could do so much damage. They're not going to be ready for that. And he actually gets a second before being traded. It is an M4 drop, so Sonic gets that upgrade, but so much information gained. Nouns can full on rotate now towards the A site with everything that Junior has spotted, and they can bottle Wildcard in.
Yeah, it just feels like Wildcard have to commit here. They don't have the information that no one's behind them, but it just kind of feels like there's no way around it. They need to fight, and there's a tag on CJ. Oh, Molly came through, but Carson, no problem finding inside that Molly. Stanislaw, nice headshot with a Tech 9, and JBA actually takes down Carson, so now it becomes very much possible for Wildcard. Bomb not planted yet. I think that could prove like a very big problem, because the smokes are going to fade soon enough, and that could backfire as George finds the kill on the Stanislaw. JBA tries to trade out. He's gonna find Rush, and now it's a problem. 10 seconds left. JBA, he has to commit to the plan, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. George expecting a fake plan, but that's not the case. George! Wow, with the MP9 as well. Mid-range duel won by a low HP MP9. What a round here to be found by George, and I'm gonna say that, you know, it's a good thing that they got the bomb planted. The question is, do they want to force up once again, because they got 4 kills, and the economy of Nouns is gonna be on the lower side, because if not, they could actually get themselves to double digits pretty early, I would say.
Yeah, I think they should go for the force buy, honestly, and they will. It's the right decision. You're not wrong on that one. I just cannot believe George wins that duel. It was 51 HP for JBA with the rifle against the MP9. George just gets the clean peek and the headshot, most critically, with the MP9 before finishing it off, I believe, with a body shot. So there you go, George in the clutch. It's been very good for this squad. Smoke gonna get thrown. And now the nade, and CJ gets one traded out immediately, but the bodies are here on both sides, and it looks like Wildcard will gain that edge. JBA has started to activate, and Nouns are probably thinking, man, we have to end this soon before JBA finds his rhythm even more. Junior waiting with the M4 in exactly the right spot. Gets nothing. Only the headshot onto Stanislaw, which is not good enough for the frag, leaving George isolated in a very different situation this time. A 1v3. 2 players are low. The damage onto Stanislaw is confirmed, maybe even onto JBA. So George could try for this one. But I think what's more important for them is stabilizing their economy on CT side. You have a 4-round lead. It's going to be down to 3, of course, with Wildcard taking this. But keep that M4 and then have something to fight with in the following one.
There we go. Solid answer here from Wildcard. Now, George is pretty far away from this. He should be able to save it safely, but to be completely honest, this hunt is not the best idea at a Wildcard considering their economy. They will find an M4 as well, so that everyone has a weapon to save over. And there we go. Wildcard finding an answer. But is it the right answers? They do force Nouns so that now they have to buy up. Of course, 1400 for Junior, so there's going to be a Deagle with armor. This one can actually turn scary just because of how good George was so far, and he's the one that's actually wielding the M4. He has a lot of util as well. It's going to be a very important piece of this round, and Wildcard, that is something they should watch out for. Although Carson dying very early because of the nade, and that 5-7 can deal a lot of damage. He's getting himself up close. He's going to take down Sonic. And he gets information onto Stanislaw as well. In the meantime, CJ, they pushed a main. Oh, this could be a problem. GBA, is he able to survive here? Not the best spray, but he's going to find one. Rush trades Stanislaw with an answer back, but he's been tagged down to 29, and it's a 2-on-2. Mind you, George is still very much alive.
Yeah, George could still have a say here. Would he get caught out? He could very much get caught out. He's down to 12. Look at the HP for Wildcard now. 12 for Modem, 29 on Stanislaw. Combined, that's what, 41 HP up against 197 for Nouns. Huge edge in that regard. And look at this. Stan's not even going to make it to the bomb site with that bomb. That could be the round right there. And that one's going to hurt immensely on the Wildcard side as Modem can't clutch out the 1v2. Nouns win it, isolate the round victory. I think money might be okay. Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to do it. You'd think, right, that they're going to go for this one because of the way things have gone, and no one's really gained that momentum so far here in the second half. Oof.
It is a very rough spot here for Wildcard. Just as you thought they're gonna get something going, you get shut down by Nouns on a basically a force buy, and Wildcard decide to buy up. Now if this one doesn't go their way, oof, it is a very tough situation to be in. Although they might have found the empty site. A site is completely open. Nouns focusing quite a lot onto B main and mid. And Wildcard will soon realize that, okay, there's no one here. We can just get the bomb planted. In the meantime, Stanislaw is still faking towards B, so that's going to keep them around for a little bit longer. And Wildcard, they actually didn't throw any util so far. But look at CJ, finding the first kill on the Sonic. He is going to go down to Modem. But now they do get the information, and the bomb was planted as well. The question is, can Stanislaw still surprise? I think that's Rush right next to him. It does seem like Nouns are trying to just go for a save here. Oh, look at that. Stanislaw, perfect timing. Eliminating Rush. Trade comes through. But Nouns, they have already decided. Okay, they fooled us. We'll let them take the round. So, there we go. Wild card. 7 on the board.
Yeah, it's just a really good call, honestly, from Stanislaw. Just saying, guys, I'm going to fake out the B site. Go full on A and attract the attention. Nouns also, let's not forget, they decided to commit 3 players to mid before any of that even was underway. And I guess they were expecting Wildcard to challenge them there, which didn't happen. And they left A as a glaring gap in their defense. And, well, you saw Wildcard just walking out there all the way into Donut before they were spotted, and actually pushing into Donut like that could have cost them, but the spacing was good and they were able to get the trade immediately. And after losing that A site with so much presence leading the other direction for Nouns, I totally understand the call to save, because the economy is just not there for them, and it's not there for either side right now. You're going to see the second timeout called from Nouns here. They have 1 left, a 3-round lead, but again, like, it just keeps going back and forth, teams trying to gain that momentum, and you see another force buy is almost certainly going to come through from Nouns. There it is. Can they win this one, though, where Wildcard are going to be coming through with rifles across the board on their side, 2 Galils and 3 AKs along with full utility. This one's going to be a bit of a tough ask for Nouns, but at least for them, they do have the full util as well. Only 1 piece missing for Rush, but that's not going to be a big difference maker. Let's see where they position these MP9s. CJ and Rush rocking those. Carson pushing up aggressively, as he likes to do here into mid, and actually a lot of damage taken by himself and CJ. So they're going to pull back a little bit, and Wildcard are pretty much doing the same thing here as they did in the previous round. The only difference is Stan is not towards B. He is into mid, throwing some util in that direction. But again, I mean, Nouns are giving up so much space.
Yeah, they just probably didn't expect for Wildcard to go for another slow A push, and they're going to be surprised to find them again there, but from this round on, I'm sure Nouns will never leave A open once again. Slight and Sonic finding the opening kills, and there it is. There's the round in favor of Wildcard. Nouns can't do anything about this one. It got even harder compared to the previous round, and I wanted to say, you know, Nouns, even though they went for the force buy with a couple of MP9s, they won a round with even less. Not this time, though, because Wildcard, they understood A is not really all that defended from the side of Nouns, so we can just walk into it, but I'm sure that from this point on, Nouns are going to pay a lot more attention to A main, especially. I think one of the reasons why they didn't really it was because last time Wildcard tried to go towards A, they were quickly shut down by Junior, if I'm not mistaken. So they were betting quite a lot on Wildcard not getting things done towards there. Stanislaw! Oh my god! After the bomb explodes, finding 2 more kills, only on MP9 saved for Rush. Those are very important kills that he finds there.
All smiles there for Stan, who's actually looked pretty strong in terms of his fragging prowess over the last couple of weeks, I would say. So that's, again, like, taking care of all the rifles in Nouns' hands and essentially turning what could have been a force buy in the follow-up round again into an all-out eco. And yeah, only Rush carrying through that MP9 means that Wildcard could just run through into A. They do have the adjustment here, 2 players on the site, but it's just pistols this time. Can it be enough? It might. CJ gets 2 with the USP of all things. JBA manages to get the trades, but now they're quite vulnerable. Carson burning her alive. And in fact, Junior gets another one with the USPs. What if this is the round Nouns win? I have no idea what to say. Carson swings around, does the damage, but can't finish off JBA, who's now on for the anti-eco ace. Junior swinging, hits the headshot onto Sonic, but JBA does get the ace to secure things in a round that shouldn't have been this scary, Pop.
I mean, as you said, if Nouns would have won that round, I think it would have been the map over. You are not allowed to lose against full USP eco, and they were not far off of it. But Wildcard, they'll breathe a sigh of relief here. Thankfully, JBA was able to deliver, and they get within 1 round of tying up the game here against Nouns. It will be a bye here out of the CT side, but if this one goes south, I think you actually mentioned that Nouns were very mid heavy, and I think that's why Wildcard chose to go for basically 3 rounds in a row, because as you focus a lot of players onto mid, you are leaving a under defended. B usually has more players than you would expect kind of all the time. Oh, look at this. They're going to swing through the smoke, and this might turn ugly as George is mowing them down.
Wow.
But somehow, both George and Rush go down to Slight and Stanislaw. So it starts off well for Nouns, but they lose a couple of players very quickly there.
And you saw Junior going with CJ towards that B site, and they said, no, hold on, Junior. They like to come back to A, so Junior doubles back, goes to Donut instead, which could be the difference maker in this round. We'll see, because you see Sonic kind of leaning into mid. He's checking things out. Stanislaw also looking around over in Cave. Meantime, Nouns are walking into the crosshair of Slight, but Slight misses all of his shots. Now they have bomb control. They don't know where Stan is, so that could be the difference maker in the round if they don't spot him, but Carson wisely checks out what's happening on their flank. And now Sonic's position is known. Wildcard are in a very tough spot. Not to mention Junior is pinching in on Sonic, who's going to have to deal with him, and he can't. Now Stanislaw activates, gets 1, but 26 seconds left, and 2 players left to find. It is not going to be easy as a flashbang is thrown by him. A smoke by Nouns. And that's going to be enough. CJ playing around the edge of it, and Stanislaw is gone. Nouns win the round, and they've gotten 11th.
Well, equalizer denied, as Wildcard are going to be able to get another buy-in and opt for Slight as well. And I do have a feeling that we should see quite a lot more out of Slight. You know, I think he needs to have a lot more impact here, especially as Nouns. I don't think they only just didn't buy one because they didn't really want to. They didn't really have the economy to get themselves an op, but if Slight is able to take some long-range engagements and win them straight on, maybe they can secure a 10th, try and get themselves a little closer. Because Nouns right now, they are within 2 rounds of closing out this first map. And while it is their own map pick, it can get a little scary on the Dust 2. Because Dust 2, you know, as you guys mentioned, is more of a kind of a mixed friendly map, as they are playing with a stand-in here. Wildcard, of course, Modem standing in for Grizz. That could play into one of the strengths, but at the same time, Nouns, I don't think they're just gonna be clueless on Dust 2, even though they played once in the past 3 months. I'm sure they have something ready there.
No. I don't think Nouns are going to be too fussed on Dust 2. Slight's going to get an opener, though. Rush the 2K afterwards. He could find the follow-up. There it is. 3-piece for Rush. Stan and Sonic left wondering what on earth went wrong. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's a way to shut down a push.
Yeah, definitely. As Sonic's going to be waiting here. Junior could catch him. Oh, no. Stanislaw with 2 back. Carson and CJ are gone. And we've got a round on our hands again.
When Junior stopped pushing, he could have caught Sonic. This is very confusing, and it can turn ugly for both of those teams depending on what each of the players want to do. Because Stanislaw right now, he's kind of isolated from the site. Thankfully, there's a lot of time left on the clock. I do not think they would ever expect Sonic to be here. So it's up to if they find Stanislaw first and they find the bomb, then they might understand something. But if Sonic finds Rush, then it can actually turn very ugly for Nouns.
Oh.
It's all about the timing. And there we go. Rush. The 4th kill has a big chance for the ace as Stanislaw is all alone. Has a smoke. He could actually smoke out cave, but he's going to go for the bomb plant. He's going to stake the bomb plant. Oh, Rush. There we go. It is the ace. What a crazy round we had, starting off with a triple from Rush. Then Stanislaw gets a double. People just lining up left and right, but in the end, it is Nouns to secure map point on Ancient.
What a great job from Rush. And we talked about it, right? The fact that he gets so impactful at times when it comes to the fragging with this roster. And right there, what's better than an ace for his squad? I mean, not to mention, like, as George goes down, he does not let that death go to waste, right? He immediately trades him out, swings around that corner, and then gets 2 more after finding the trade. That is insane to see. And of course, able to get that last one on to Stanislaw. So a 12-9 lead for Nouns. They got 3 opportunities here to close out this map and send us to Dust 2 with them having a lead. Flashbang toss forward. They want that mid control on the Nouns side, and they will be getting it to an extent. Sonic's trying to poke around here. So is JBA, and they get flashed out. Is it enough? I don't know. Fighting towards Jaguar's rush, but he has the util out at the wrong time. He gets found by Stanislaw, but CJ will get the immediate trade onto Sonic. So we're still even at a 4v4. JBA hiding in the smoke, and it works with the Deagle headshot onto Carson. The frags going back and forth here, though, Pop.
Oh, and George is in a very good position, but that smoke is going to fade soon, and they're going to double peek George. Nothing he could have done better. Slight gets the kill there, and he's gonna get the AK rather, not necessarily the kill. Junior forced back by the molly, and they could just go for the save. It would be very early to call the save here already, but wait. Oh, Wildcard.
Is Wildcard gonna outplay themselves here? Nouns
They
with a
actually
very
might.
good read if Wildcard end up here, right?
I mean, if they commit here, CJ is going to be the first point of contact, and I don't think they'll have time to go back towards B anymore if they want to do that. So even if CJ goes down, he surely will take down at least Slight, and then Junior comes into the action here. There we go. CJ with the kill on the Slight. JBA eliminated as well, and oh my god, it's up to Stanislaw with 17 seconds left to find a couple of kills or to get a bomb planted. CJ, I don't think he spotted them, but there we go. There's the noise being made. Stanislaw, he finds
what?
Junior, and now
6
in the
seconds.
one-on-one.
6 seconds.
Oh my, Stanislaw!
What?
They're gonna win the round. Now they just throw away the round win, the map win.
Oh no, Stan. What is that flashbang? He just jumps up, tosses it on the ground, bounces it like a basketball, and then gets the frag. What do you do as you're coming around the corner and you see this? You're like, what's happening here? Look at this. Insane. I mean, Junior was almost stunned. He pulls out his knife or something, or util. I am not even sure what was going through his mind. And then at the end, CJ doesn't have to fight, and he realizes it, right? You see his camera, he's hitting it. Like, why am I even fighting? There's so little time left on the clock. They just had to burn off the time, and it doesn't happen. They call the timeout to try and settle things down because that is just super unfortunate. And Stan again with the clutch victory. 24 frags on the board for him, leading the entire server by a minimum of 6 frags, which is insane to me. But the Wildcard are somehow still in this. Nouns letting that one slip away. And the worst part about it, Pop, is they do not have money. They are broke here.
Yeah. Not only that round gets Wildcard, well, keeps them into the game, but now Nouns, they decided to eco it out, even though it's not going to be a clean buy into the next round. Carson trying to run away from that Mac 10 out of Modem, but Modem will be taken down by the USPs. Hold on, they lost 2 players, but very quickly after they deal with all of the pistols. So Wildcard, he will secure 11. And now, Nouns, are you able to close it out with a, 13-11? We're going to see this again, just absolutely insane out of Stanislaw. So last round of regulation, Nouns weak buy. I think it's an understatement. Oh, I'm not going to be that harsh, actually. They have a couple of FAMASs. It's not the worst thing in the world. But can they defend against the Wildcard, who's ready, based off of that play that Stanislaw got, to force out overtime and maybe even win the first map?
All right, off of that clutch from Stanislaw, here we are, Rush. With the MP9 in hand, we are going the distance of 24 rounds again here on Ancient between these two squads in a very different fashion, though. And here's the swing. Oh, I thought Rush had that, but he doesn't. Stanislaw a little quicker with the flick to his head.
So
and he gets it. Yeah, he's ridiculous right now. It's unreasonable how well he's playing. George trying to get the trade here. Throws the smoke out, and MOTM's going to actually try to push through it. Stan's already gone. He's pushed in towards Jaguars. He's leaving MOTM, the healthy player, to go for the engagement here with the FAMAS. And, you know, in the meantime, Nouns are trying to get the read here, but what have they left open again? What is left open again? It is A. Oh, George pushing up, though, and he gets one on the flank. Junior and CJ before that, and Junior connects with two. Slight, the last one standing. As I was looking at the mini-map, Nouns said they are going to take matters into their own hands with the frag. Slight, the last one, as mentioned, with the op in hand. It feels very unlikely here that they'll be able to pull this one off, and here comes the flashbang.
John there, but Slight misses the shot, gets the flash over. And he's in a very rough situation right now. 1-on-4, taken down by Carson, and Nouns, they win the first map. I am completely confused of what happened here. Oh my god, I'm at a loss for words. Nouns, they're able to open up this best of 3, and well, you know, even after losing that round against Stanislaw, the fact that we're able to just keep their cool and still secure the map is very nice to see out of them. You know, the experience, I think, as well, to just keep their composure and secure Ancient.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, here for Dust 2, it does turn into a bit of a coin flip map sometimes. You know, it depends on how cohesive you are as a unit, potentially, here. We're already jumping in a game, so we'll see if that cohesion can hold on. I'm going to pass this one off to you guys. John and Pop, take it away.
Alrighty, we jump into Dust 2 here. And I mean, like you guys were already alluding to, it's an interesting pick coming through from Wildcard in terms of switching things up, but I agree with what Fi said. You know, the fact that the sub is here, the fact that Modem is playing, that's why I think Wildcard leaned into this, and they've had success on the map over the last couple of weeks, so perhaps that will be able to come through here again, although it's up against a Nouns squad who beat M80 here, like you pointed out. Pop CJ gets the headshot, and now JBA is going to find the immediate trade. Rush with the touchdown onto Sonic. Back and forth we go again. Stanislaw, who was the hot hand on Ancient for Wildcard, hoping to help out here again as the bomb gets planted. Oh, what a shot from George, but a great trade from JBA.
Oh, there might still be a chance here. JBA needs to take on a lot of players, but Carson is the one to find a headshot. You know, I was thinking JBA, how you guys presented him, I would have expected him to just completely shut down 3 players with 3 USP bullets, but it was made to be. So Nouns are able to secure the pistol round. And I think, just quickly touching on the point before, that Wildcard, even though they're trying to get a punish pick against Nouns because they haven't really played it all that often, is once again very important for Nouns as well, because there's not a lot of games that Wildcard can watch and see exactly what Nouns are used to doing on this map. That's maybe how they can surprise Wildcard. But of course, Modem is also an unknown factor for Nouns on this map, so that's also something to keep in mind as Wildcard do decide to force up here, which is well, not really unexpected. And we do see that AK onto JBA for now, just basically defaulting it out. But I think Nouns have a really good position. CJ pushed all the way up in long double doors, and if you swing through here, CJ will see your shadow first. He's gonna get the information first. Oh, but also the scout of Junior is still there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I love that Junior was there and just creating some distractions for CJ, who's still hunkered down in long doors. And in fact, I don't think they have any clue that CJ's here. So it's up to CJ if he activates or not. Stan's watching for it, thinking, hey, someone could push here. And CJ, I think the best play for him at this point is just to wait and see if anyone arrives. A lot of time being burned off the clock. This is a force buy from Wildcard because they got the bomb plant. Slight peering in with the scout. And I would say, in a sniper duel, perhaps I'd favor Junior right now with the way he's playing over Slight. So, and that will be an important one to watch as Dust 2 continues. Anyway, Sonic's going to charge out here. Almost catches George off. Great flashbang, but Junior and George combine to take down Sonic. Slight's going to try and push through. Russia 2K off screen, and Carson gets one onto Slight. It's all down to Modem. And, oh, Carson, I don't know if he disconnected there. That was really weird. Didn't really react to that peak. Modem gonna get the bomb planted here, but he is so low in health, it's gonna be very difficult for him to hang on, and he absolutely will not. Modem dropped, and CJ finds his first in the round, but it's the 2K from Rush. That was towards the A side, I believe. That really helped out here for Nouns, and I don't know if that was a disconnect or something for Carson. Okay. Just a very, I'm hearing it wasn't a disconnect, but it was a very slow reaction, perhaps just looking in another direction. Yeah, actually, Rush, it was those 2 frags from window. Right here, I mean, there's just so much time for Modem to line it up. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, very important that he gets the bomb planted as well, and he takes out some players. We do know, you know, this is Dust 2. B side is going to be very complicated to retake if Wildcard are able to get control over it easily. Nice shot there at a Slight to tag down Carson. But then again, if you're in a 1-on-2 onto that B side, of course, they're just going to pop through, and usually the CT side can just get the kill as they overwhelm you. But that is something to keep in mind if Wildcard do want to play towards B on a future buy round. This one is still a force buy. Kind of the same with Ancient, where we saw them force up again after they get the bomb planted and a lot of damage. CJ, though, from Pit with a huge double. Nade comes through, and Stanislaw manages to trade, but the damage already has been done for the side of Wildcard. George takes down JBA, and it's down to Stanislaw and Slight. Don't get me wrong, it is still possible with the way that Stanislaw played in the previous map, but it's still not going to be very easy to take control of the site, get the bomb planted, and then get the kills.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it was also a force buy here for Wildcard for a second consecutive round, so if they lose the bodies here, yeah, and they will, it's not going to be in the cards for them to force up one more time. Will be an eco. Slight trying for the 1v4, and won't be able to even get that bomb planted. Junior spots him out, peeks around from Gandalf, and Nouns will get a 3rd round here. And that is a very strong start for them on their CT side. CJ in particular, sitting at 4 frags. George as well in the same, but CJ just was so important in that previous round, playing from Pit. They did not clear it well on the Wildcard side. The nade comes in eventually, but it's too late. I mean, right here, they were already peeking around that corner, but Modem loses the fight, and then Sonic's readjusting because he was trying to clear out long corner. Anyway, Wildcard will be able to afford a little bit of a buy up here. A couple of players with body armor, 4 Tech 9s, and the Deagle available to them, making a lot of noise, so no secret of their attempt to go through into mid here, and Rush gets one, the second, and actually, no, it's Junior who finds those last 2. It was a good crossfire setup from them, and now it's all down to Stan. This round is a non-starter.
Yeah, it just seemed like they shut them down instantly. I really like how Rush is just getting a lot of kills here, even though it's, you know, against lesser weapons and all that, but just how instant he is on anyone peeking him. And he was Stanislaw to shine very bright in that previous map, but now maybe it's time for the other veteran of the scene to get his chance to shine, as Rush is up to 5 kills. Maybe that's not a lot so far, but of course, we're just now getting ourselves into round number 5, and Wildcard, it is their first buy round, so I do want to see quite a lot more out of Slight here. I know I said this on Ancient as well, but on this one, it just feels like there's a lot more opportunities for the op to be doing a lot of damage. Also, Modem feels like he needs to get a lot done as well, as of course this map should be friendlier to him as a stand-in, and he's gonna take down George. Very fast play through short. That doesn't mean it's gonna be an A play necessarily, because Mom just now is making his way, whereas his teammates, oh, the flash, and
Oh
Rush,
no,
they have no idea. Rush,
Oh.
This is huge. What a double kill to find there, and to shatter the push from Wildcard.
I mean, there's just no way you can calm that either, right? I mean, Sonic and MOTM are right next to each other, and once one goes down, the other is soon to follow with a nice spray from Rush, who continues to play mid so well here. Oh, he's even got the lineup through the door. He doesn't know it. But if he just spams a little bit, could yield another frag. Stan, gonna be jumping up here, trying to get to Cat eventually. There we go. And he will push his way through. No one actually on the A site for Nouns, so it's completely open. JBA will be able to slip through. Junior at long might be a problem. I'm surprised not to see an adjustment here. Eventually, CJ's going to have to react that he's in an unfavorable fight coming up from that ramp with the high ground being yielded to Wildcard. So, yeah, he might wait a little bit longer to see what Junior can get into. And this is likely just going to be a retake setup with Nouns kind of poison themselves for the best chance to go out.
Well, 3 players to come in from CT, that is certainly unusual, as Junior is being very wary of someone coming in through long doors, but no one's there. Look at this from Stanislaw, though, able to get himself a double kill. That is huge, because now it's a 2-on-2, and it gets so scary for the side of Nouns. If Junior is not able to find a kill early enough, he might not be able to find a kill at all, as GBA takes him down. CJ is very focused on short, but both players are on site. GBA, wonderful headshot, and there we go. Wildcard with their first answer. It was a little weird, right, to send the majority of your retake power through CT, which is kind of locked down, right? Because even if Stanislaw was not there, you have to go around the site, get yourself onto the ramp there, and you're probably being held. So timing was even better for Stanislaw, and the fact that the round starts with Rush getting that double is an even bigger hit for Nouns, because they had the player advantage. It was a 4-on-3, but they were very focused on, you know, getting utility thrown, going for that, instead of just clearing out close and then trying to worry about all that util they still have.
Yeah, that was a weird setup for Nouns with a man advantage situation, leaving A so glaringly open, but I guess they figured they had things covered towards Cad. Maybe it was a miscommunication. Honestly, not sure, because it was very easy for them to find their way through. Junior now with the op in his hands will win the first duel up against Sonic. Now Nouns can settle. Let's not forget, that was still technically the buy-up that Nouns had from round number 2. So, you know, the guns are going to be upgraded here. Yeah, A again is kind of left open for Wildcard. Lots of utility being tossed forward, but look, George is in CT, and then there's no one on the site. I don't know what it is about the A sites today for Nouns, but it feels like they don't want to go there.
You know, but the strat itself was pretty good from Nouns, because they had players in short and they had 2 players pushing B, so they knew exactly where the play is going to go and how Wildcard will probably go for the site defense. Now, it is a 5-on-3 and time is ticking, but Rush not able to take down Modem. It will be the nade to finish him off, and there it is. It's Carson to secure a double, and it is the round in favor of Nouns. So I think after all, just the play was very smart out of Nouns. They were very aggressive towards mid. They found the kill there, and Wildcard said, okay, let's just not go mid, let's go through long. Little did they know, Nouns, they were already pushed up through tunnels into upper and also lower tunnels, and Nouns, they 100% knew it's an A long play towards the A site, and that's what they adjusted for. And they strike back instantly after Wildcard are able to get themselves a round. There's a tack pause out of Wildcard, because things are not really in their control.
No, they can't figure things out. They can't figure out what Nouns is doing, and honestly, at certain points, sometimes we can't, because you see the way that they're playing. But you broke it down well, Pop, honestly. You know, they got a good push towards those B tunnels. Information was gained, and after that, they played the retake well. It's just strange to see them playing the retake in a man advantage situation and giving up all that space, but I guess they feel really comfortable going for it. And you saw it there. They had all the util tossed on forward, did the damage, and I mean, the most Wildcard get was 1 frag, and after that, it was just an onslaught of Nouns players. And, you know, again, we talked about Wildcard picking into this and it being a risk. Nouns, yes, have only played it once, but they played it against the best team in the region and made them look silly, winning 13-8. So maybe in some ways, we kind of expected Nouns to come out of the gate and look as strong as they have here, especially with Junior, who I touted earlier on as being a player that does very well on this map with the AWP, and, well, he's doing exactly that so far.
Slight could have had a chance there. Could have found the kill, but he's still holding on to the angle. And if Nouns overextend, I think they just missed each other. I think they spotted each other. Oh, Junior tries to get the flick in. Luckily, Slide was not scoped in because Junior would have been a sure target. As Wildcard get the smoke in mid, they should be able to jump up towards short and get themselves towards the A side. Yeah, once again, you know, as I said, Nouns, of course, they had a lot of map control in the previous map, but in this one, they just basically leave A open completely. Now, Carson is here in a very good position, and he should have the advantage onto whoever pushes in here. Sonic could be the first victim, and there we go. Carson, good for the first, not for the second. They also lost Junior at the same time, so A side could be in a lot of danger here for now.
But CJ's in a good spot. No, he gets punished immediately. Modem with the headshot on him. 4v2. A is completely open. Nouns now gambling towards mid, I believe. George knows that they're not going B, so they're just looking for a potential lurk here, but I think they're just going to save at this point. And there's Rush grabbing the AWP. That triggers the save immediately, and George will be backing off from any fights. Wildcard played it well there. The frag onto Junior was quite critical, and afterwards CJ's in a spot to maybe turn the round back in favor of his squad, but he goes down for free, and that pretty much sealed things up at that point. So, I mean, Wildcard have already seemingly figured out the way Nouns are playing this in the early goings. They have one person committed very deep up into long doors on A and 3 at mid. So it's an interesting setup if the other team falls into it, but Stan, having realized what's going on, I mean, I don't think Nouns should be running that anymore. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That's very bad. They're not going to save anything.
Maybe George gets away? No. Modem found him on top of that smoke. Well, yeah. I think Rush, he was just trying to get himself into a better position, but Stanislaw was already through tunnels, so no chance there. Good thing for Wildcard also that Carson is not able to find a second kill in long doors, although the position, you know, should have been able to grant him that kill. Sometimes those do not apply, of course, as attack pause is called in from Nouns, and it's fairly early on, right? You would say, well, they're still ahead by 3 rounds. Why would they call attack pause? Just because it seems like they are losing a little bit of a grip on this game, right? Because Wildcard were able to get that round where Nouns, they didn't start off all that well. In the rounds that they won, it was Nouns to open up with the kills, and not necessarily all of the rounds, because of course, as we do remember, Wildcard were able to win that round where Rush got the first 2 kills, and he was looking good for them, but then the retake onto that A side was a little bit bad. So with this stack pause, they'll try to right the wrongs here, and they do have a scout, they do have some pistols bought up. This could still turn dangerous if Wildcard will just rush into a site, potentially the B side, but I don't think they will necessarily just go for a rush against pistols. I don't think that's going to be too good of an idea, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got 4 players in upper tons, so they might just be pushing out here, which would be a mistake. And yeah, here they come into 4 pistols. Will it work? Modem gets the first. That's critical. Swings around, can't get the second. Here comes George, and he manages to dink another one before he falls. Rush keeping things hopeful. And now CJ dropping another, but it will be over. Very tightly contested there towards that B site as Wildcard ran into the stack, but they do secure the anti-eco at great cost. A lot of money lost in that round, and there's the third one found for them. And an adjustment for Nouns, right? Because we haven't seen them really going in towards that B side very heavily. They just call for that stack. This is the one I'm curious about, though, because they've constantly put 3 players towards mid, 1 on B, and 1 on A. I feel like they're going to change that up here, given how heavy the A emphasis has been for Wildcard, and they absolutely are. 3 players now into long. Slate gets the opener onto Rush, though. That is a big one to find, and now they're just trying to clear out and see if anyone managed to make it through those double doors at long, but they do not. Still no one on the A site proper, though. I imagine eventually CJ's going to fall back and hold that space, though.
Yeah, they could also use the information that usually Rush was towards mid. George also falls in A long, and it's all onto CJ to hold on to the site. JBA almost done a good timing against Carson, but Carson now will try to aggress, thinking that JBA went down into lower tunnels, and well, he actually did. He's going to find a lot of empty space in upper tunnels, but can they really use that information to their advantage? I guess more or less. It's about timing here. Carson lines up the headshot and also a dink onto JBA. That's a nice shot. It's a 3-on-2. Junior is somehow able to find something quickly. Maybe this is still feasible.
It depends if they go for it, and it looks like they don't want to. CJ just jumping around here. I think he's looking. There it is. So he's got the gun. M4 gonna be grabbed, and that will be it. So I'm still asking myself a few questions about the way Nouns are playing this defense, right? I mean, it did work for them early on to get those 5 rounds, but quickly Wildcard have made them look quite silly round after round, and they posted up a player every single round in the long doors. You got to mix it up a little bit more if you're Nouns, because they're just going to be waiting for you every time. There's no way they're not going to hard clear it. So anyway, Nouns, we'll see if they once more make an adjustment here and have more of a defense on the A site, because when CJ falls back, what surprised me as well is that he deviates himself towards CT again to support mid, but leave Junior to his own devices. Let him op towards mid when he's got it, and he's got the op still saved through here, so kind of let him handle things there. Maybe leave a rifler close by from the B site who's available there, but they need more presence on A itself, which they feel like they haven't had anyone in that vicinity throughout the entirety of this half, which is crazy to say. Anyway, we'll see. They still got a lead, albeit only by 1 round now.
It always feels like kind of a 50-50 map usually, although Nouns did have a very good start and nobody's going to take that away from them apart from maybe Wildcard as trying to tap the game. Aggression in tunnels. CJ able to get 1 and a dink onto a second, but that M4, of course, you're going to need 2 bullets to take down a single player. Slight paying attention to lower tunnel, and it's all down to George with an USP. In all fairness, if he's able to get a kill, that's very good, but apart from that, it's just going to be round over. So Wildcard able to tie up the game here. I did want to double check if, you know, the teams are better at the T side, because that's what I would expect. And now it's interestingly enough, percentage wise, better at the CT side, but again, they only played a single game against M80. Although Wildcard do have a little bit more experience on that. Interesting, I just saw that both teams actually played against M80, and it was a win for both of those sides, but it was an easier time for Nouns. Either way, of course, it's just a small pool that you can get information from, and that's not really going to be reliable as it's a completely different team they're playing this time. George, he gets away with an op, and I think he should be able to stay alive. I think they're actually very far away considering how long is left out of the bomb. So saving an op here is actually a lot better for George. Can you do it? Ooh,
Oh!
Jeez,
Wow, that
guys.
was close. Yeah, he does save it through. That was close, you know, through that smoke. I like the smoke that George throws in that situation. But man, Sonic's so aware to pop it, maybe expecting him to be right behind it, which he was, but George manages to get to cover before he is sprayed down. Wildcard, great recovery. 4 rounds in a row. They have, by and large, looked like the better team over the last 4 rounds, and now Nouns want to send those 3 players towards long once more. They're just going to get that util tossed out. One of the players, Junior, flashing them out, and there's an all-out push from Wildcard. Nouns engaging. They don't have to, but George sprays down Stan through the smoke. They're going to pop it as well to see if anyone slipped through. That nade on the other side won't catch George, who's managed to slip away. Junior looking to hold from Carr with the op. Spots out a player, but Slight wins the duel, makes it a 4v4, and will manage to take control of Pit pretty much entirely here. Nouns need to be careful with how they fall back. And again, like, look at how vulnerable this A site is.
Yeah, it's just a constant thing. I don't know how they don't figure it out.
It's just stubbornness, I guess, honestly.
Also, the 2 smokes from Wildcard. Yeah, this CT one is basically useless. It comes through. Ooh. Not going to be able to find anything, although Modem eliminates CJ all the way in short. Then, again, it's going to be an A retake. Carson spots out something, but that's Sonic hitting the headshot. Very important kill there out of Sonic. Even though he's not really having the best performance in this best of 3, he has been hitting some very impactful shots. Now, Rush and George, they'll try to hang on to the weapons as we will get ourselves into the last round of the first half soon enough. So Wildcard actually able to get themselves in the lead. Wonderful stuff here out of Wildcard. And it's based off of, I want to say, a mistake. Surely their plan has something to do with leaving A open. I think they're just very confident in the retakes. They have not really been all that good, so maybe something needs to change. But I think it's still a very big mistake to the fact that they are leaving A open every single round, basically. Rush gets away with a triple kill, and he's going to save the op for Junior, but that doesn't change the fact that Wildcard get themselves in the lead here on Dust 2.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Nouns haven't just gone for a heavier A lean and not one that features them pushing aggressively towards long, which hasn't worked both times they've attempted to employ it. Just let Wildcard come to you. It's hard to get Nouns on a leash sometimes. It's hard to get them to slow up their play style, especially seemingly here on Dust 2. Rush gonna get tagged down to 26 by the op through the door. So he'll want to play a little more passively. And again, they have those 3 players towards long, but they just don't want to play someone on site, either in Goose or in Gandalf or on ramp. They continue to lean more into mid and CT, which makes it much more difficult to retake that A site. Granted, you know, you did have CJ playing Deep Cat in that previous round, and he was able to swing around, but he doesn't have much impact because there's no one really to support him. He's on an island. Anyway, Nouns continue to have their defensive gap here on the A site exploited, at least committing 2 players towards long, and they're waiting patiently for Wildcard to make the first move, which, I mean, hasn't been the case. In most of these rounds, it's been Nouns kind of getting aggressive. JBA and Slider are looking to gain some space in towards B. Rush trying to hide a plat. He pops up, can't do the damage. Nade comes through and does quite a bit, but they still don't have a frag on their side, and George's going to have pressure put on him by that Molotov. It shouldn't bloom in his direction, so he still has some space to work, but in the meantime, CJ actually sprays down Sonic, and looking at the HP here for Wildcard, it is not that great.
You know, being that daring with an UMP, looking for duels, mid to long range duels at that. Very smart out of George, but oh, look at that. He actually gets a double, courtesy of the Molly, and he's going to go for the third, runs out of bullets, gets the USP out, and he's going to find JBA. Somehow, he is still very much alive, as Slight is left in a 1-on-4. That's another dink.
Was that a
George.
jumping? Yeah.
Might have been with a USB, and he's going to take him down with a USB. I think there's a reason why Wildcard kept going A, because George is playing B, and he is a beast.
Yeah, that was really well done from George. Another difference maker there from Nouns is they didn't charge out. They didn't get aggressive. They didn't go into Longhouse. They didn't push out into the B tunnels or get into mid. They just said, okay, let's play sites. Let's wait for Wildcard to come to us and win the fights. And actually, he did jump up on top of the box, or I think near it, to get that headshot from the USP. Either way, it's still impressive stuff with the pistol from George. And of course, right before that, the incendiary thrown perfectly at the right time in order to do the damage. So we do end up in a tie score line here at 6-6. But Wildcard deserve a ton of credit, winning 5 of the last 6 rounds on their T side, as Nouns will now switch over to the side that will favor quick pushes and might work out for them a little bit better, as they're going to get into this B site completely uncontested. Will be a bomb plant, and Wildcard are playing the retake on B, which is a very, very tough task.
Holding on to the flashes there, Modem, but Sonic...
What?
Oh, he finds 2 kills in tunnels. Slight will trade out for his teammate, and it's down to CJ and Carson, but CJ lands the headshot fully blinded, and it's down to a 1-on-1 between Modem and Carson. A single bullet to the head needed for one of those players, and Modem, he's looking for that headshot. He has a defuse kit as well, but as he jumps up, CJ, he's gonna land the headshot, and Nouns, they're not going to allow Wildcard to get in the lead here. It's Nouns getting themselves back into that lead, and this time I think Wildcard, you know, we saw them force up in the second round. I don't think they will force up here. Usually on the CT side, you're just going to see the USPs. They're just going to go for the straight on eco. It was a good try here at a Wildcard. This double from Sonic was very impressive, even though it was off screen. I just see that it's very impressive, but also put a lot of pressure onto Nouns, somehow still able to get things done.
Nouns making a lot of noise here towards long A. Now they're backing off. Carson just pops out there. Says, hey guys, I'm back. Didn't want to leave for too long. Just making a little bit of noise. And Wildcard perhaps thinking that the rotation's going to come through. They're sending a lot of bodies towards mid and B. George, right here, could be exposed. They're in that util. Carson gets one onto Modem. And George waiting for the right time to push out. He's wary, though, as he should be. On a pistol round for Wildcard. And Nouns just biding their time.
Oh, no. I respect George for taking long-range duels with SMGs, but usually you're a bit of big disadvantage. Now, if it ends as it is for Nouns, they only lose the Mac 10. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? It's just the Mac 10. You would probably want to upgrade it as soon as possible, especially as the buy will come out of Wildcard eventually. Carson finding the headshot into JBA. Slight. Oh, he's the last one standing. With the USP, we'll try to get some headshots in as well, but he could be shut down by Rush soon enough. And there we go. It's Rush to end the round in favor of Nouns. I'm very curious to see how this buy is going to go for Wildcard, what their play is going to be here, as they will not have an op for Slight just yet. And once again, an op should do a lot of damage here. I know I said, you know, on the T side that we should be seeing more out of Slight. Oh, actually getting a headshot under your jumping teammate is impressive. But yeah, I think Slight should have a lot more opportunities with the op on the CT side to deliver a lot more things. Nouns calling for a tactical pause just to try and read the situation so that they do not drop this one. If they don't drop this one, it could be double digits for Nouns, getting themselves very close, or a little bit closer rather, to taking away this best of 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's Wildcard's round, I would say, to really assert themselves because it's not the greatest of buy-ups coming up from Nouns. They don't have the op in play yet. There's a couple of Galils. Make that just one Galil still in the mix. Versus on the other side, you have 3 M4A4s and 1 A1S stand, maybe a little limiting with the FAMAS, but this is certainly the round where Wildcard need to come out with something impressive so that they can ensure they stay in the map here. Otherwise, it could be the 2-0 for Nouns before you can even blink. Well, I say that for another reason. It's because Nouns love to push. They love to get aggressive. We already saw it in that CT side, but T side even more so. They want to go for that blitz factor that can really stun teams. And it's a completely different setup from Wildcard that we're seeing on their defensive side, right? We have one player towards deep long, one into car, and the other one playing over at Goose, which is more of a typical setup here on Dust 2. And they're leaving mid open, in fact, which was the opposite for Nouns, who had 3 players that sometimes kind of aggressively pushing in here. Stanislaw, waiting from the B double doors. He's just got util in his hands. He's waiting to spot someone. As soon as he does, he's going to toss this smoke down to make life difficult for them. But Nouns don't actually want to go out here. They're slowing up the pace considerably. Throwing that smoke for a mid to B play. Sonic gets the opener now. He spots out CJ lurking around towards long, and that might trigger Nouns to go a little faster now.
Yeah, and they have to go into 2 players basically on the site, with also being careful that Sonic was spotted towards long. And there it is, the util coming through. Modem. We'll try to take first engagement on the players coming in from short. Modem only able to take 1. And now, as they lose the 2 players on the site, it's advantageous for Nouns. George just swings out and takes down Stanislaw. Oh, the flash was good there. Carson couldn't do anything, but Rush was in position, and Sonic is all alone. Good shot onto Junior. He still needs to go through George and Rush, the top fraggers of Nouns right now, and their positions, they're so far away from each other, but it doesn't matter, because I think on the tap, George takes a quick jump to see if the defuse is coming in, or rather, go around, get the kill, and get the job done. Very nice adjustment here out of Nouns, even though it looked a little dire, you know, trying to take away the site from 2 players in very good positions. It just went so downhill for Wildcard. I think Modem, if the peak would have came a little earlier so that the player in Goose is not checked first, I think that would have been a whole lot better, but in the end, Nouns, they get the job done.
Timing's a little off, but with that setup, Wildcard should have at least had 1. Like you're kind of right. I think the timing was just off, and they couldn't get anything at all. Nouns just stomped on them, and there was an attempt at a recovery at the end there by Sonic, but it wasn't nearly enough. Now Nouns want to go quickly here towards long. They've already seen one. Sonic and Pit will get burned away from position, so they've cleaned that out. I don't think Carson's aware of it just yet. Yeah, he's not. So now he knows, though. The player's gone. And you see Sonic trying to boost back onto site. And what a difference in terms of defense for Wildcard. The emphasis of getting players on the upper part of the A site immediately following the take of long versus Nouns, who just immediately leaned in towards mid. But, I mean, either way, Nouns are still doing the job in terms of frags. George was so bold in that previous round, jumping on top of the box to take the peek into CT. It's not a play that you'd often make 'cause it's risky, but it works out so well for him. And again, he's kind of leading the charge here towards this A site on the anti-eco. Carson finds the opener. Carson, another one through the smoke. He's just spamming, and he connects with another headshot. 5v3. It is all Nouns all the time here until JBA strikes for one, but it feels like too little, too late in this round.
Rush was going for a very big spray transfer there. Would have been very impressive if he hit it, but doesn't really matter. Although he was trying to just cut off and some of those players trying to run away, and he will lose an AK because of that. JBA should be able to save that, no problem. Double digits will be won here by Nouns, but Wildcard, I think they should be on max loss bonus right now. I think they should be able to get themselves an op. I know I just keep thinking about, you know, the big green and what of an impact it can have in this one. And I'm not only basing that on me wanting to see more action out of an opper. It's just Junior. He's kind of the only one falling behind a little bit, right, in terms of kills. Everyone else is delivering. It's not that he's not getting important kills. It's just usually he's not getting the opportunity to get the kills because Nouns are just all over the site and they're able to, you know, get the entries, get the bomb down, and that's it. Now, Wildcard, this is an interesting approach this round. It's a double op setup, and someone told me that usually teams go for double op setups when it is a must-win round. Slight gets tagged through the door without any information at a
Rush.
Junior. Oh, Rush was there any day of the week, but he still deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. But there is that op striking true onto George. I mean, you're right. You know, when desperate times call for desperate measures, and a double op is indeed a sign of that. And they still hang on to it, though, with all the damage that's been done here. Sonic over the top of the smoke, playing it well, but can't stay alive. Junior doing the same to him and managing to connect with the headshot. Look at the damage onto Modem. Now 3 players below 30 HP, and the bomb will be planted post-plant. This is disastrous health-wise. Stanislaus still manages to get one. Now Carson evens it out, or almost does. It's a 3v2. There it is. The 2v2. Slight still at only 26 HP, and both players coming from the same angle. Is there a nade? No. But Junior has the Molotov, which he can just toss onto the bomb at the right moment. Maybe that's what he's waiting for. JBA coming around. Junior locked in. Knows they're going to be coming from this angle. His teammate is lost. There's the Molotov from Slight, in fact, and then one in return from Junior. Is it going to be enough? I think it misses the mark. But Slight doesn't have time anyway. He is going to try and stick it, but it doesn't work. Junior going to win the round for Nouns, and Slight can do nothing but put his hand on his forehead and be frustrated with the way that one played out.
A lot of things that can be said about that retake. You can see how much it means for Slight.
Yeah.
But I mean, in that situation, I just think, you know, he didn't find the bomb first, but Junior would have been very fast to get to the side anyway, so he had to tap it and just try to go for the duel here. The thing is, how is Carson still allowed to jump up, get peeks into CT, still win those duels without taking any damage? Like, he has done this in multiple rounds, and that is a big mistake, because Wildcard, they also, as Nouns did, they have been sending quite a lot of players through CT, but Carson just constantly shuts them down. I did like that boost from Wildcard, and they were able to, unfortunately, take down the player on Goose, not deny the bomb plan. If they would have denied the bomb plan, I think it would have been a whole different story. But in the end, Nouns, they'll be happy with this, with what happened in the previous round. 11-6. getting themselves within 2 rounds of closing out the best of 3. And for Wildcard, it is a force buy. It is a risky one. But hey, maybe it pays off. Nouns, maybe they don't expect a force buy to be coming in here.
Maybe. Man. I don't know. It just feels like Nouns have got such a stranglehold right now. Wildcard forcing up. I kind of understand, given they're down by 5 rounds here, and it would have been just giving up overtime if they don't force up, and they had enough money to justify an op on Slight. So see if they can do it. Oh, there you go. Slight trying to make amends for that previous round, and there's the opening 2 going the way of Wildcard. 5v3 in favor of them. Nouns pushing up, hoping for a trade. Oh, Carson, the util out. Ooh, he doesn't get spotted, though. Uses that smoke to his advantage and fades back a little bit. Modem? He heard him. Yeah, he was just moving away from that flashbang. Carson didn't realize Modem was there. Now they're going to try and go onto that B site, but JBA not, his position not known. Junior is dropped, and now it's all down to CJ.
Now, in all fairness, Nouns not conceding a lot of rounds here on the T side, but they lose this one, and they are out of money. That's one thing that Wildcard were doing well about this one. They kept getting kills, and they kept shutting down, not necessarily shutting down, but not allowing Nouns to get their economy going. Because so far, Nouns, this is the first round they drop on the T side, and now they have to force up because Rush is on 1400. So at least Wildcard, they got something going. Now, with this force buy, Wildcard, if they survive this one, we could see an 11-9, and then it might get a little more uncomfortable for Nouns, because I'm sure that when the previous round started, they were feeling very confident about it. Carson, oh my god, he's able to get that kill. If he takes down Stanislav here as well, awkward duel. He's able to open up the A site by himself. Wildcard, surely they're not actually going to reposition. This is actually pretty good out of them, but will Nouns reposition? Now, that's the question.
Oh my, like that is Carson, the effect he can have sometimes. Just no fear at all. He'll go for duels and take them immediately. Even if the team is down or they had a bad round, he comes out immediately firing out of the gate. And then gets that. Tough for Stan, though. And I think I saw it there. His head went back, flailed his head back after losing his life there, as he felt like he should have gotten that frag. We're going to see a couple come back here, but still the advantage in favor of Nouns, and you got to feel like a save has to come through here unless Slight is able to connect with something insane. But the op is so important heading to the next round that, yeah, no, Wildcard are going to fade off. Nouns will find their 12th, and it's thanks to Carson. That tip of the spear so very often popping off for a couple.
Yeah, just absolutely insane that he's able to open up so easily that A site. Even when having kind of an awkward duel against Stanislaw in that second engagement, he's still able to get it, and there was no one else left to answer. So, Wildcard, rough spot. 5 rounds in a row needed to force out overtime and to have another chance at winning this map and sending us over to a third, because Nouns, they're 1 round away from closing out this best of 3 and securing their spot into that grand finals. Of course, don't yet know who's going to be their opponent, but I'm sure that it doesn't really matter. As long as they win another round here, all that matters is that they're in the grand final and they're going to be battling it out for, the prize money and also some points here in the CCT tour. Or, CCT tour doesn't make sense. CCT season 2.
Yes.
Tour is the T.
One way or another, yes. There are some points, obviously. And M. Odom's going to get 1, but Carson, who else? There for the immediate trade. After that, I mean, there's so much space gained here. Do they realize that Stanislaw's pushed so far up? Stanislaw trying to be the snake in the grass. Wants to pop out at the perfect moment. Don't know how much information he'll gain here audio-wise. Probably not that much. We'll see when he decides to activate, and if Nouns overlook the possibility of him being on the flank. Sonic also really important on the A-site defense, holding it with the AWP. And Nouns just giving Wildcard a lot to think about, and there is the activation for Stanislaw. He is going to try and come in, deal out the damage from long doors. I mean, CJ is locked in here, it seems, towards long doors. He's waiting for something to happen. Nouns want Wildcard to be the ones that make that mistake, right?
they are paying a lot of attention to a potential flank. So the question is, when they start pushing into the side, are they still going to have a player just waiting? With 35 seconds left, it's pretty clear that's going to be an A hit from Nouns.
They're still looking long doors, man.
CJ.
No, the timing!
Way! Oh my god, he actually saw the foot, but he didn't realize it. Now that molly, he's gonna slow down Stanislav for a little bit. They still have to get themselves into the side. Look at Rush. Rush, this is gonna be huge. Kind of awkward duel there, but he's gonna take down Slight. Sonic hits the shot, and now it is a 3-on-2, but Stanislav eliminates Junior. And can Carson do anything here? This time he will be shut down. Sonic gets the kill, so Wildcard. They survive for at least one more round, but it is a bomb plant, so it's going to be some extra money on the side of Nouns. They should be able to buy up once again. They will have another try very soon here, but still, Wildcard, I think they actually caught a break, because if Stanislav goes down here and Carson and also CJ are not going to be eliminated, then it's a 4-on-3 with Nouns moving into the site, and Rush was still on the flank. It would have been a done deal. So they do catch a break there, but they're going to be happy about it.
I actually think it's a really high IQ play from Stan. Probably realizing that with under 30 seconds left, all those players are going to have to activate and get on the action utility-wise. Uh-oh, I'll get back to that now. It's just pushing out immediately into the B site. Junior finds one. They know the players in the smoke. They don't. JBA manages to get 2 before CJ trades him out, but that is B site under control, although the HP is very low for Nouns. Modem trying to punish even further. That nade could do it. Oh, no, it doesn't. How is CJ alive? Now they're going to try and get this bomb planted, but the smokes might fade out. Wildcard are so very close here to the site. Oh, that gap Sonic almost abuses it. Oh, man. What do they do? Jeez.
Though, it's going to be huge. Where's the nade going? Blowing open the smoke. Ooh, that could backfire. Junior gets one before going down. That was one of the low HP players, George and CJ. It will be George to find one, and CJ the second. Nouns, they will be qualifying for the grand finals. And what a way to do it. A 2-0 against Wildcard. Last time they played, it went to double overtime on 2 maps and a very close ancient, but this time Nouns, they came prepared.
Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. Nouns don't even want to give me a chance to break down the previous round. They're like, no, forget about that one. Forget about it. We lost. So let's go into this one immediately and charge into the B site. Like just all out B rush, very typical Dust 2 strat, the most iconic one you could ever pull off. And it works out for them. A JBA managed to slip through the smoke and get 2, but the fact that CJ is able to trade him out quickly enough, I would say, for Nouns to maintain control was phenomenal. And I mean, we're going to see a bit of a replay here, but that was honestly some good play from Nouns overall. I would say in particular in that second half, their defensive side left a lot to be desired because of the way they left that A site open. But you saw, I mean, even when Wildcard were putting bodies on A, they weren't necessarily having the advantages. And we got 5 back with us, of course, to continue breaking this.